All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak giving double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Peace and salutations to the Akim, the brethren out there on the highways and byways pushing this truth in 100% sincerity. And peace and salutations to the few and sincere sisters who believe in this gospel. So, I want to entitle this lesson, Always Lead Her, Never Be Led, or Never Be Led by Her, right? And I got a couple of video clips. I might just play one for time's sake, but I got two here. But I wanted to go into this video lesson as a I don't necessarily want to say advice, but just as a edification on brothers who might, be new to the faith. And, brothers, we got that desire to deal with women, and, we want to, have a woman or have, women, as long as you know what you're able to handle and still do the work of the ministry, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is lawful for a man to deal with more than one woman, right? Unlike what's said by IUIC, you can't have more than one woman, right? But, as Paul says, all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. So not everything is going to be the best idea. Some brothers can handle one wife. Some brothers can handle more than one. Some brothers choose not to deal with any, right? It's whatever is, best for you and whatever you can handle while still doing the work, still building yourself up, still going to camp and everything like that. And just make sure that you don't allow these women to get into your head or allow these women to get into your spirit to cause you to go off, to draw you away from the truth, or, just have you doing shit that you ain't supposed to be doing. Just make sure you rooted in the faith, rooted in the scriptures. Really for brothers who are just coming into the faith, right? If you don't have a wife, you know what I'm saying? I would say, because the scriptures say, he who have a wife, desire not to be loose, but he who is loose from a wife or loose from a woman, seek not a woman, right? Especially if you're just coming into the faith, if you don't already have a woman that you're dealing with and you're new to the faith, I would advise you to be built up first. Be built up and get rooted in the scriptures first before you try and seek a woman. Because, the scriptures also say it is better to marry than to burn. So I would advise you to make sure that if you do desire a woman, but you're new to the faith, but you don't have a woman that you're dealing with yet, get built up in this truth, get built up in the knowledge and wisdom of the scriptures, get built up in the spirit first before you really try to go in and seek out a woman. Because, and I tell you, I made a mistake of seeking a woman when I first came into the truth, and I was led by her. I wasn't the one leading, right? Now, I learned from that experience, and I learned what to look for, how to move when dealing with women, especially women in this world. You know what I'm saying? Because if we being honest, man, women in this world are treacherous. You know what I'm saying? And they will, if you allow any leeway or any room or anything like that, they will take advantage. They will take full advantage of you if you allow them, right? So that's really why I'm making this video for the newer brothers in the faith, right? But let's go into this clip here, right? This is just to use something as edification. Lord willing, this video is edifying, right?
It is haunting video. Our 8 News Now investigators showed you here first. 2 women walking hand in hand through a strip casino with the man they would eventually kill. This afternoon, those 2 women are beginning their sentences in prison. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. Our 8 News Now investigators were the only TV crew in the courtroom for this emotional sentencing. David Charnes here with how many years they could be serving behind bars.
Yeah, Brian, Denise, the pair took a plea deal, sending them to the Department of Corrections for at least 10 years. Today in court, the family of the man they killed repeatedly asking why they did it.
I would like to send my condolences to Brian's family.
21-year-old Erica Covington apologizes for killing a man inside a Caesars Palace hotel room before a judge sentences her to prison.
I deeply, genuinely apologize for the grief and the pain that has been brought upon you guys' family.
She and 22-year-old Ariana Taylor killed and robbed 25-year-old Brian Altamirano Solano in May 2023. This video the 8 News Now investigators obtained shortly afterward shows the trio walking hand in hand minutes before the murder.
No le bastó con robarle sus pertenencias.
Altamirano Solano's father speaking with the help of an interpreter. It wasn't enough just taking his belongings, he says. They had to kill him. Altamirano Solano and the girls were in his room for about 15 minutes before one of them pulled the trigger. Police finding a cartridge casing they say matched Taylor's gun. Altamirano Solano's mother joining the hearing remotely from out of the country. The pain that I felt was so deep, she says. I felt like I just lost my life. I had so many questions. Why? Why my son? Police work to find the women included comparing these Instagram videos to surveillance from several strip properties that night. Officers arresting the duo 2 days later. Altamirano Solano's father again speaking through the interpreter.
Pido justicia por mi hijo.
I ask for justice for my son.
Police nor prosecutors have ever said which woman they actually believe pulled the trigger. Nevada law allows charges against all people involved in a murder, not just the person who did the actual slaying. I'm David Charnes, 8 News Now.
So, David, the judge sentencing the women as per the plea agreement. While the minimum is 10 years, the maximum is 25, and the decision on when to release them will eventually go to the parole board.
All right, so you see that video there. Look like a Northern Kingdom Jake, and 2 could possibly Southern Kingdom women, could be possibly 2 Northern Kingdom women. They look like they could be a mixture, right? But the reason why this happened is because, you got 2 women. They probably approached him, walked up to him being, flirty and sexual and everything like that. And, just as a Jake thinking with his dick, he probably like, oh shit, this a once in a lifetime opportunity. Because, men here in Babylon the Great are sex deprived. So you see 2 women, especially one of them got on this little, super short, super tight dress. You saw she was walking down the street. She kind of thick too. The dress riding up on her legs and everything. So, he seeing that walking up on her, and he see 2 of them. And you know what I'm saying? They talking about, hey, we trying to go back to a room or whatever, right? He gonna follow. Like, but little did he know is that they had intentions on robbing him. And women, they emotional, so they ain't gonna just rob him, they gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? And as you see what happened here, right? What he should have did was, well, one, it's against the scriptures for orgies and threesomes and everything like that, right? But, the way that you handle a situation like that is, if you ain't, if it's 2 women walking up to you, you know what I'm saying, at random, me personally, my antennas is up anyway, because what y'all up to? What y'all doing, right? But let's say, you are attracted to them. Choose one, and give her instructions on what you want her to do. You know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, I need you to take my number, call me at this time so we can do so and so and so and so, right? If she got an opposing agenda, 9 times out of 10, she ain't really trying to follow your lead. She's trying to get you to do what she wants you to do so she can get you in a position that she want to get you in so she can do whatever the hell she want to do, right? Now, even in a less extreme situation with brothers who, you meet a woman and, let's say you attracted to her, she looked good to you, she seemed to be interested in you, right? You always be the one to give her instructions on what you want her to do. You tell her to call you, give her your number, tell her to call you, and tell her what to do, what you want her to do. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is that if she give you any pushback or any resistance to that, don't fuck with her, right? Because she might not be trying to rob you and kill you, but what a lot of these women are trying to do, or what they usually want to do when they want you to follow them, and what they want you to do is they got their own agendas to use you, basically. Use you for your time, use you for your resources, your money, you know what I'm saying, or get what they can get out of you. The only way you can be confident that that won't happen is if a woman is following your lead and doing things on your terms, right? But let's go ahead and get into the first scripture here, right? This is Ephesians 5 and verse 22. It says, "Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Yahushua is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body," right? Now, according to the scriptures, sex is marriage, right? Now, in this day and age, it's a little tricky situation, right? Because the scriptures do say, if a woman be pleased to dwell with you, seek not to put her away. But, most of these women are not virgins. Most of these women have had men before you. So, on a technical level, according to the law, it is adultery. And, on a technical level, she's not your wife, right? But, a woman who is showing you respect, reverence, and, she's following your lead and she's being submissive to you, if she be pleased to dwell with you, seek not to put her away. You deal with her, right? But you know what I'm saying? If you let's say you find a woman, and I'm specifically, it could be Israelite woman. Now, me personally, I've never dealt with a woman who claimed to be an Israelite, right? I'm not really interested in that either. But, typically, brothers we deal with, a lot of brothers, and you deal with women in the world. Me personally, I deal with women who are in the world, right? So, don't be, if you pop one and you know what I'm saying, you get with a woman and y'all have sex or whatever, don't be talking about you my wife now. Don't do that, right? But if she, you know what I'm saying, if you get with her and let's say she decides she don't want to deal with you no more for whatever reason it may be, don't really trip off of it. Just keep it moving, But this is what you look for, right? Verse 24 says, "Therefore, as the church is subject unto Yahushua, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything," right? Husbands, love your wives, even as Yahushua also loved the church and gave himself for it, right? So, we supposed to, and love is not always going into being mushy and all that other bullshit, right? Because, the brotherly love we have is not, you know what I'm saying, it's not always, shalom, brother, and we eating chicken together and drinking wine and, you know what I'm saying, congregating with each other, talking about different things. Brotherly love also goes into rebuke, and you have to do the same thing with a woman that you deal with. You can't be afraid to correct a woman right? If she goes off from what you deem as right in your eyes, or she crosses a boundary that you've set, you have to correct her. Just like in the brotherhood, if a brother's going off, he got to be corrected. He's got to be rebuked. You know what I'm saying? That's love, right? That's real love. Real love ain't always, you know what I'm saying, that cute and cuddly shit, man. Because if you if you see somebody who you claim that you love walking towards a cliff with a 2,000-foot drop and spiked rocks at the bottom, you're going to tell them, hey, nigga, turn around. You're going to die, right? You're going to warn them. You're going to let them know. Now, if the nigga keep on walking, that's on him, right? But that's true love, because he might be thinking that he walking in the right direction, but you walking into a death trap. And it's the same with the women. See, what you got to understand with women is men, we save women. We're the ones who got to save women from themselves, right? Because women are driven by their emotions, so they can be driven to make not so good decisions. And as a man, you must be true love. If you truly love and respect a woman, you're going to correct her. You're going to rebuke her when she's going off, when she's doing things that she not ought to do. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get another one. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 7. It says, an evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty, right? So, and this comes with experience. It comes with dealing with different women, but you got to be able to recognize certain types of women. You got to be able to recognize certain types of women that you can deal with and certain types of women that you shouldn't deal with. And you can really tell, you can tell by how a woman presents herself. My personal thing is I don't like, I don't really like a super loud, masculine, rowdy type of broad, and she got a bunch of tattoos, and you know what I'm saying? That ain't my thing. I like a square bitch. I like a bitch that go to work. She's got a decent job. You know what I'm saying? She go to work. She go home. You know what I'm saying? And the bitch watch her little shows and paint her nails and talk to her little girlfriends on the phone and all that shit. And, she live a simple life. She ain't doing too much. You know what I'm saying? She's soft. She cook. She take care of herself. She make sure she clean and everything like that, right? That's my type of woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really into the Sexy Red she's an extreme hood rat, but you got a lot of chicks, you know what I'm saying, who they try and present themselves as like, it's a complex thing. You really just kind of got to have the experience to be able to point certain things out. But it's a lot of women out here in Babylon the Great that you just simply don't want to deal with, because they're going to be a headache. They're going to try and get you into, some bullshit, or, they're going to try and really any woman who is not following your lead and following your instructions, just don't deal with her. You know what I'm saying? And brothers, you got to have a plan. You got to know what you want. You got to have your own standards. You know what I'm saying? And you got to stick to those standards. And standards don't just go into how a chick looks. It really was more important. The more important standards to have is how she behaves and how she, you know what I'm saying, acts and presents herself to you. You know, that's actually more important than how a woman looks. Because a woman, she can be fine as hell, but the bitch ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Her attitude fucked up. Her mindset is fucked up. Her spirit is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But she look good on the outside, but you don't really want to deal with that. Matter of fact, and I'm gonna get back into these scriptures down here. What was it? 25. Yep, here it is. 20, Sirach chapter 25 and verse 21. It says, "Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure." Meaning, don't be thinking with your dick. Don't be thinking with your dick when it comes to these women. Now, of course, yeah, physically, you know, we have our preferences. We have what we like. And we have, you know, what we're sexually attracted to. But you know what I'm saying? That should only go so far. You know, you're supposed to look deeper than... You got to look past how she looks. You got to look past her beauty. You got to look past that ass. You got to look past them big old titties. Me, I'm a man, I like big titties. You know? But she can have big titties and a pretty face, but if she ain't, you know what I'm saying? If she ain't doing what I need her to do, then fuck her. Fuck her. You know, I ain't fucking with her. I'm leaving her alone. She can go about her way. I'm going to go about mine. But look, this is, let me look at Sirach 26 verse 13, right? It says, "The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fat his bones," right? And the true wife is described in Proverbs 31, right? Or it describes how a true wife is supposed to be and behave, right? Verse 14, "A silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed," right? So, you know, if you get a woman, you know, she don't go off at the mouth too much. You know, she's loving, she respects you, she follows your lead. You know what I'm saying? She does the things that she needs to do to satisfy you as a man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's a blessing in this day and age. Because, you know, it's a lot of these, you got a lot of nigga, especially nigga women, so-called black women. You got a lot of these bitches that's out here just, you know, they just, you know, they wild. You know what I'm saying? They like wild animals. You know? And you gotta be able to decipher the ones who are gonna be who could be good for you or be a benefit to you, you know, outside of sex, right? Like I said, like the scriptures say, don't be thinking with your dick. Yeah, she look good. Yeah, you know, you aroused when you look at her and she might talk a nice game or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, what else does she bring to the table? It's the book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 23. It says, "Hast thou children, instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth. Hast thou daughters, have care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful toward them," right? That's not a It's not a real standard here in this society here in Babylon the Great. And sometimes shit, women with who have fathers in their lives, you know, in this society, because a lot of men are simps and a lot of men don't really correct their daughters. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men don't really, you know, truly have care after their daughters and, you know, have certain boundaries and things for their daughters to follow that are going to, you know, follow into their adult years. And then you just got the natural rebellious nature of women. You know, especially nowadays, women want to rebel against authority. You know, sometimes women with daddies be the worst. Sometimes them women be the biggest hoes, be the biggest sluts. You know what I'm saying? They you know, they you know, they outside, right? Verse 25, it says, "Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed the weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding. Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman." Meaning, don't give yourself over to the sexy reds of the world. Don't give yourself over to those type of women, because they ain't nothing but trouble. You know, they just airheaded dumb broads. Or, you know, a lot of women, women are very crafty. Women are very crafty, and women can be very strategic in wickedness. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's a particular thing that you just got to watch out for. And a lot of things come with experience. Sometimes, hey, you got to go through a situation where you make mistakes, right? Even when you're in this truth, sometimes you got to go through a situation where you make mistakes with a particular woman that you deal with. But, you know, the Lord might take you through that as a thing to build you up, to give you that experience so you can have some knowledge and wisdom about yourself and know what not to do and know what to look for in the future. You know, sometimes you got to go through those things, specifically for brothers who got to deal with, who desire to deal with women, right? And I got a couple other scriptures, but I might save those for another lesson, right? But Lord willing, this video lesson was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And until